All right, we are live MDK Podcast. MDK Podcast. Man, I have been on the road, missing you guys. Master your business, dominate your trade, and kick your competition's ass. Live, waiting on Mr. Todd Falcone. Try reaching out. Not sure where he's at, but it's been so long. We got our group coaching coming up Thursday. I wish I was doing it every week, but I'm somewhere. Last week I was in Nashville, actually right outside of Nashville. Flew over there in my buddy's plane, the Myers Aircraft Owners Association. Man, hanging out with pilots is crazy. My buddy called me, texted me Tuesday. He said, Brian, man, you want to go with me? Going to this fly-in. I said, what the hell's a fly-in? He said, it's where a whole bunch of airline pilots that own their small aircraft, this Myers Aircraft, we get together once a year. And I said, damn. I said, where's it at? He said, Lebanon, Tennessee. I Googled Lebanon, Tennessee. It's like right outside of Nashville. It's actually the first place that In-N-Out is going to be opening their first restaurant. And it's the first Cracker Barrel that ever opened. So I texted him back. I said, yeah, I'm in Nashville. I said, damn. I said, man, I said, I don't know, bro. I said, when you going? Todd just texted me, said be here in a couple of seconds. I said, when you going? He said, tomorrow. I said, Mike, come on, man. I said, it's Tuesday afternoon, and you're leaving tomorrow. I said, give me 20 minutes. Let me see if I can rearrange stuff. Had to rearrange some appointments, some coaching calls, a bunch of other crap. And I said, all right, man, I'm good. Let's do it. Todd just got here. Let me finish the story. So I said,
1 second.
What's up, brother? No problems, man. We're live. I'm telling a little story about I went to Nashville last week.
Oh, we're live. Look at that. We're live and I'm scrambling.
Oh,
here we go.
That's what we want to see, brother.
I love it. Okay, now you get guys that are like, bang, I got to get it done. I got to be there.
No. So this, I was telling these guys, I just got back from Nashville. A buddy of mine owns a small airplane, and he texted me Tuesday if I wanted to go with him to a fly-in. I said, what's a fly-in? He said, it's where a bunch of airplane pilots that they own this small aircraft. They all get together once a year. I said, when you going? He said, tomorrow. I said, damn. I said, give me a couple of minutes. Let me see if I can rearrange stuff. I said, all right. I said, I'll be there, brother. I said, what time are we leaving? And he lives like an hour and a half, 2 hours from me. He said, we need to take off about 4 a.m. earlier if we can. I said, I'll be there at 3. So I got there about 2:45. I walk into his hangar and he's tightening the bolts to his propeller. I'm trying to help him put the plane back together. And it's like this little wire that goes through all the bolts that keep it from vibrating. And I was like, man. I said, dude, I don't know if I want to fly in a plane that I helped put together. And he's laughing. Yeah. He goes, oh, it's going to be fine. I was telling my wife that story, and she was like, when I was in Nashville with like these 30 other pilots, and she was like, hey, do they know he put the plane together right before he left? And I was like, honey, I think they all do it. A couple of them were working on all kinds of, one dude had to put his wing back on, but it was a good time. A lot of fun. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have the legendary Todd Falcone in the house. He's got that great camera making me look bad. And I've known this I've been looking forward to this, Todd, for years, many years. Not so much for these business owners that end up watching this, but for myself. I met Todd over 20 years ago. We were speaking at a different event. I think I spoke Friday night. He spoke probably Saturday. He was down in Miami, Florida, and just loved everything that he was doing. Todd is a businessman, but in the network marketing industry, of which I love. Network marketing, MLMs, multi-level marketing, whatever you want to call it. And in that world, Todd is a legend. But in that world also, to me, and I think to most of us, our big dude is Jim Rohn. So if you don't know Jim Rohn, he's the one that mentored and trained Anthony Robbins before Anthony Robbins went and learned NLP and mixed it all together. And Tony Robbins is as great as everybody says he is. I've been to many events. He's got one coming up in Long Beach. I'm trying to convince my daughter and her fiance to go. They're not into it. I can't force them to go. You gotta go wanting it. But Todd, before we even get started, Jim Rohn, if you guys Google Jim Rohn, I still tell every business owner, every young kid that I talk to, they say, where should I start? I say, go and buy everything that you can find that Jim Rohn has put out, whether it's downloads, audios, CDs, cassette tapes, old books, whatever you can buy that Jim Rohn has produced, buy it. Start there. Jim Rohn always credits his mentor, this dude named Earl Schaff, that got him started in business and philosophy and personal development. And at one time, Todd, you were giving away the speech that inspired Jim Rohn. Is this true?
Oh, that was a long time ago, man. Yeah, I probably was, if I think back long enough. I had actually had a chance to speak on the same platform at, I think, like 6 or 7 different events with Jim. So I knew him a little bit and didn't know him well, but definitely spoke at a lot of the same events. And what they call Jim Rohn, America's foremost business philosopher. The guy's he's easy on the ears, man. It's great to listen to for any business. Doesn't matter what you're doing.
Yeah. So, and today I'm hoping you share there's a lot of things we wanted to talk about before we got into the business philosophies and all that stuff. And for me, it's personal development. I sold everything in 2000 and went into personal development training. That's how I met and traveled with Les Brown and a little bit of Jim, Zig Ziglar, Mark Victor Hansen, but everything starts with the personal development. But before we get into all of that, man, I want everyone to kind of meet you. I know you told me at one time you were out here in Temecula where I'm at, but where'd you grow up at?
I grew up outside of Seattle, born in Bellevue, grew up Kirkland on the east side of Lake Washington. I was there for 17 years of my life. And then I moved to Long Beach, California. That was the summer after I was a sophomore. I saw a girl in a bikini on a skateboard and came back home and said, Dad, I'm moving to Long Beach with Mom. So I ended up moving to Long Beach, went to college there. I was there for 10 years and then Monterey for 11, back to Seattle, down to Scottsdale. And now I've been in Oregon for about 8 years. So grew up in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah. Cause I remember watching, I guess 8 years ago when you moved back to Oregon, and then the pictures and everything that you show is phenomenal. And man, Monterey, Long Beach, all of it is beautiful. Never on the East Coast, Todd?
No, man, I'm a left coaster.
Yeah.
It's funny because I go speak on the East Coast and because I got a little attitude, they're like, you sure you're not from New Jersey? I'm like, yeah. No.
Man, and this week has been crazy. This whole last 8 years of politics and COVID and everything else has been nuts. But how did you get into working? Did you ever have a real job? Like people want to say, did you clock in? Like my first real job, I worked on farms and stuff, but my first real clock in, clock out was McDonald's. Did you ever have a real job?
Yeah. In fact, when I was 16, my first job was McDonald's flipping burgers, cheese on 12, cheese 6 on 12 there, kid. Pull up those polyester pants, fix that paper cap, $3.35 an hour. And then my second job was Jack in the Box in Long Beach. And then I got a job as a valet at Kelly's restaurant in Naples in Long Beach. That was super fun. Did that all the way through college. Got a sale. It's funny. I got this job. I met this guy, Fernando. Actually, my dog is named after him, this little Chihuahua. Met this Mexican dude named Fernando in my history class. And he was like 42. We're all in our 20, 21, something like that. And he started kind of hanging out with my group of college friends at Long Beach State. And, he had money and he'd buy the beer. So we always loved having Fernando around. He was a little weird, but yeah. One day he says to me, he goes, Keto, called me Keto. I'll show you how to make $1,000 a week. And he always had a big wad of cash, right? And I'm a broke college kid. And I'm like, I don't even know what you do. Is it legal? Like, I didn't know what he did. He goes, oh, I'm number one. And I go, what do you do? He goes, I work at the cable company. I sell cable TV. He goes, I'll get you a job, but you have to do it my way. I was like, $1,000 a week. I'm in, let's go. So I did the interview, get my first sales job. We drive out to Garden Grove, California. And we're in the back of his 1971 GMC panel van. And he pulls out a yellow pad and he starts writing on this yellow pad. And I'm like, watching him do it. And I'm like, dude, that's in Spanish. He goes, yeah, I know. You need to do it my way. He goes, all the other guys work 7 days a week, 10, 12 hours a day. I work 3 nights a week, 3 hours a night. I only sell HBO. I don't sell Movie Channel, Showtime, Cinemax, none of that. And I only sell to Spanish-speaking people. So I had to memorize this script, which I still have memorized word for word. I could sell you cable TV right now in Spanish 30-something years later. And that was actually probably one of the first lessons on success is this. If somebody has what you want, like think about you're pursuing whatever you're pursuing. Somebody's making more in that endeavor that you're involved in. And they got a better mousetrap. They have a better system methodology, and they're willing to like lay it out for you and not keep secrets. I'm like, here, I'll show you exactly how I did it. You don't reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
You don't go, I want to go do it my way. So I sat there and learned, hola, yo soy de cable televisión. Vamos a venir a todas personas aquí con el cable. Damos un te prueba si lo gusta, lo deja. I'm not going to go through the rest of it, but I could still do it. And I mean, I was crushing it. I was 21-year-old kid making $1,000 a week, working 9-10 hours a week.
Man, that's great.
That was kind of the last job that I had. And then I got invited to what I thought was a job. I remember I was sitting in my apartment in Long Beach, and this guy calls me up. I'm Jim. I'm with Orange County Marketing Group. We're a marketing company. We're looking for people that can train and manage others in the expansion of our company. We want to talk to you. And I thought, oh my gosh, you're hunting me down. I didn't even have my diploma yet. I was graduating on the marketing department at Long Beach State. Later, I found out he looked me up in the white pages and cold called me, got me on a list of graduates at Long Beach State, looked up my name. Anybody remember the white pages? Found me, picked up the phone, called me, and it was a cold call. And I got introduced to multi-level marketing. I didn't even know what it was.
Yeah.
I never heard of network marketing. The only pyramids I knew were in Egypt. And so I started that journey. First couple of years was hard. I had to, ran out of money first 2 years, got a lot of great training. Had to move home, live in the bunk beds at my parents' house. Took a job as an account executive with their radio station selling advertising, and got myself regrouped. Found another network marketing company while I was doing it. Had my check and my product shipped to a friend's house, because if my mom found I was doing multi-level marketing under her umbrella, under her roof, she would kick me out. So, and I figured out how to do it the second time around. Been built in the field for about 17, 18 years now. I've been teaching it for almost 20.
Yeah, that's awesome. I remember as a kid, and I didn't know it then. It was like, like after I was in my first network marketing group, I looked back and I was like, shit, my mom was selling Tupperware and Mary Cosmetics, way back when, trying to get extra money coming in. And like you, same thing. You get invited to the party, you don't know what it is this or something. But I knew it was different, because the people in the room were different, meaning they wanted more out of life. I was already in construction at that time, and all the guys that I worked around, all they wanted, they wanted to get off at 2:30 so they could beat traffic and get to happy hour. And then they'd stay there until their wife bugged them enough, to come home. And the people in network marketing wanted more. They were willing to work their 9 to 5, get off, go to these meetings, read different books like the Jim Rohns, listen to the cassette tapes, Earl Nightingale, all of it. So I enjoyed being around those people. And the principles, I tell guys all the time, no matter what the business is, I think every small business, every successful small business pretty much is ran like a network marketing company. You don't have the downlines and all of that, but everyone should know what you do. I talk to guys all the time. They live on a cul-de-sac, and most of their neighbors don't even know if they have a roofing company, a plumbing business. No, they don't talk about their business or what they do. And I'm like, dude, everybody should know what you do. You see if they're in arm's distance and you're able to talk to them, you should be able to explain to them what it is that you do, and you should be willing to. I mean, if you're doing plumbing or roofing or flooring, whatever it is, if you're not the best at it, go work for the best. But if you do a great service and provide a great service, let everybody know it. and call all of your friends. Write down your list, especially when you're first starting out. You don't have any money. You can't do the marketing, the website, the yard signs, everything that we're going to talk about, postcards. But is like you're just going into business. Is like, man, make your list. Like we make our list in multi-level marketing. Is like write down everyone that you know, call them up, say, hey, I'm starting my own business. Who do you know that may need a new roof, that needs some plumbing? All of that, everything that we do in network marketing, I believe you should be doing in a traditional business. Am I wrong?
No, I mean, you're 100% right. I think what I've found in working with people in the trades, they see themselves as a person in the trades. They don't look at it like I'm a business pro.
Yeah.
I mean, even like an example, like by the way, everybody needs a plumber, an electrician, a handyman, somebody who can do work, whatever. I mean, you're going to have a job forever in any of those, right? But you got to stop like treating it like I'm just a worker and I'm going to show up. I remember I had a plumbing issue when we moved here to Bend, and I was literally driving down the road, and this guy's van, whatever plumbing, right? I was new to town. I needed some help. And when you need a plumber, you don't need to wait. You need it right now, right? So I called the guy, and he basically, I can't remember his voicemail, but it's like, yeah, I'm too busy. I can't take any business. Bye, Clay. That was his voicemail. I'm like, dude, okay, I get it that it's super hot right now, but why don't you just change I didn't call him and do this, but my thinking is, why don't you change your voicemail and say, hey, this is Ron's Plumbing. I'm absolutely slammed right now. Business is balls to the wall. I've barely got enough time, but yeah, do leave a message. Let me know your name, your phone number. If I can figure out a way to help you and squeeze you in, just, I'd be happy to. And if not, I'm happy to refer you to one of my other plumbing buddies. And thank you so much for the call. I would have been more likely to call that guy at some point in the future. Yeah. But he closed the door right on my face, and he doesn't even know it because he just doesn't know how to think business wise. So, I mean, there's a lot of things I can say about a lot of types of businesses that they just don't think, they don't do very simple common sense things, because being successful in business is not that hard.
No,
it really isn't.
It's not. And you had mentioned it even from the very beginning is you don't want to reinvent the wheel. This guy's showing you got to learn Spanish. You learn Spanish, but you're going to be selling the HBO, and that's what it is. And one of the products and stuff that we help the contractors are all of our business manuals, the owner's operating manual, the office manager manual, the sales rep, project manager manual, employee handbook, all of them. I'm like, dude, I spent 40 years putting all this together and changing it every other year to where it kind of works. It's just something that we offer in one of our programs. It's like, don't reinvent it. But the biggest problem I'm having is changing their mindset from being the tradesman to being the business owner. And I don't know if I can ever, you just got to find the ones, like Jim would say, is you got to learn to work with the people who want it, not the ones that you think need it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, I mean, I think like everybody who pursues work, they're doing it for what? They want to make money. They want to, I don't know, they want to pay their rent, make their house payment, have some extra money. Some people think bigger and they want to, okay, can I make more? How much can I make? And there's limitations, of course, to whatever career path one is on. I mean, if we're talking in the trades, I mean, you're a low voltage electrician and you're working on, an Air Force base, you're probably making $100 an hour versus like you're working for, some guy down the street who's putting in, a stereo system in his house. But it's just about thinking differently. It's like, and one of the things that so your audience knows, like, yeah, I have a background in network marketing. I run a speaking and seminar and training company, which mostly teaches network marketing and direct salespeople. But everything that I teach is applicable for any occupation, real estate,
100%.
Finance, small business owner. It doesn't matter what you're in. They're all, fundamental principles and strategies that translate anywhere. And I'll give you a quick example. Like, and this is somebody I would consider a professional. So the realtor that sold me this house, I bought this house in one day. She made like 50 grand by working with me for like 4 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, not a lot of work. We closed escrow, new to town, never really been here except for the time I visited and then the time I moved in. I never heard from her after the transaction. Not one time.
Yeah.
Like, no, hey, you guys, you know, do you want me to tell you what the closest grocery store is or where this or that? Like nothing. And I'm like, wow, like all you got to do is like give me a call and say, hey, appreciate the business. Anything you guys need help with, you know, 4 or 5 months later, maybe a check in, touch base. I've got a system that I've been using for over 20 years that makes it super easy for people to do that. And I mean, even like I was doing a live the other day and I was talking about this principle essentially. And I mentioned this guy, I go, every mortgage person I've ever done business with, I've done multiple loans over my lifetime. I've never heard from any other mortgage guy ever out of all the loans I've ever done, except for this one guy, Pat McMasters. And the funny thing is he happened to be on my Facebook Live that day. And here I am talking about this guy, Pat, and for whatever reason, his ears were burning. And I was like, Pat, I was literally just talking about you. Like, you're the only guy I can rave about because you're literally the only guy that stayed in contact with me. I can't remember any of the other one's names.
Yeah.
I mean, just think about that for a second. You go do somebody's plumbing, you go, you know, fix somebody's roof, cut a hole in their deck for their hot tub, you know, replace a wall, install some new doors, whatever you're doing, man. Like, what you do after the sale or after the business is done, that's like massive. And most people just drop the ball and run. And they wonder why their business doesn't grow, especially guys, when the market's hot. I get it. Like you can't, I mean, you got too much business to handle, but we all know if you were doing deals in 09 and 10, you were like, there wasn't deals to be had. There was not a lot of movement happening anywhere in the home repair, remodel, you know, none of that stuff. I mean, we all remember that recession. Now, if somebody had understood some of these super simple principles, they wouldn't have been starving for business.
Yeah.
And I know guys that during that time frame, and it was definitely rough for a lot of people, but less rough for those that understand the importance of really making your customers feel special.
Yeah. And I don't understand the whole, we've got too much work right now. It's like, that's just a lack of leadership in my mind. That means that you can't hire and train someone. You don't have your systems together to train people. You should always be marketing. You should always be looking for more business. You should, for me, I mean, if you're in business, do it right, grow, you know, make the money. You know, I don't know, one of the first things that I learned, and I learned it in network marketing event, is, you know, the fortune is in the follow-up. Every business owner, no matter what your business you're in, should have that painted on their wall. The fortune is in the follow-up and the follow-up and the follow-up. In our systems, we have, you know, the whole follow-up, maintaining and staying in touch with them, you know, sending whatever it takes. We used to do before and after pictures way back before the cell phone. We would do a before picture and after picture, and then we'd send them this postcard saying, thank you for your business. And they would put the before and after picture on their refrigerator for who knows how long. Friends would come over and say, oh, look what it used to look like, blah, blah, blah. And I know when we spoke a couple of weeks ago, and I've had my daughter looking at it, is you don't own the company, but you work with the company to where it makes it a lot easier to do. Nobody's opening emails, man. When I go to my email, the first thing I do is hit delete, 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 and then boom. Unless I know you're sending me something, I'm looking forward to it a lot. I will look at the SMS text message every now and then, but I don't. To this day, it's always been true, even way before the cell phones and all the internet and all the other shit, because you always wanted to get something in the mail that wasn't a freaking bill or someone trying to sell you something. Christmas time, you look forward to the Christmas cards. You're hanging them up all over the freaking house. If it's a birthday card, you're looking forward to it. If it's something, I'm telling these contractors, I'm saying, look, if you plan on being in business more than 3 to 5 years, you need to start building a database of everyone that you've worked for. And I don't care how you stay in touch with them, stay in touch with them forever. So when you mentioned this thing 2 weeks ago, I was like, oh shit, that's what every one of these guys needs, because, you explained it. It's a physical. They get cards in the mail where for all different types of reasons, all different years, throughout the year, everything. And my whole thing is build the relationship. You have something in common with everyone you meet. It's up to you to find out what that is. If I know you're into that big fishing, and I see something that's about fishing, I'd like to mail it to you to stay in touch with you. If I'm whatever my industry is, every now and then I want to send you something and say, hey, You may not be ready right now, but we've got some deals going on if you know someone who's looking. Something. But do the follow-up. Tell us about that card system that you were telling me about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, for sure. So I think, when people get something in the mail, like you get a heartfelt card, somebody hand writes something to you. It's not a bill. I mean, think about it. Same thing with, I'm the same way. I open up email, it's delete, 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 or unsubscribe, unsubscribe, unsubscribe. And then I save the few that I actually want.
Yeah.
And then what's your habit when you're going through the mail? Okay, junk mail, bill, maybe there's a check, what's this thing, right? And we sort through it. And, I think over the years, people move to like digital, right? And it's natural.
Yeah.
Email, text messaging, and there's certainly a place for that. But that foundational concept of like making somebody feel special. I was taught a long time ago, people like have this badge on them that says, make me feel special. So the way you treat your customers or your prospective customers makes a huge difference. So many people treat it like, okay, once I got your money, I'm gone. And it's like, you're never going to get the repeat business, and referral business is so much easier to get than trying to and it's way cheaper to generate referral business than it is to go generate a new customer or client. And so a guy came to me. I was actually speaking with Les Brown about 20 years ago. I was at an event. A friend came to me, or I knew of a guy, and I was like, who is that? And it was like this guy, Jordan. And I knew of him. We get to chatting, and he, tells me about this little greeting card company. And I was like, dude, greeting card company, tell me about it. Cause I've always been a card sender. So he gets me some information. I've been using this company as of May for 20 years. This is like a mandatory, must use, critical part of my business where, the problem, why don't people send cards? They don't send cards because I got to go get in my damn car, drive down to the grocery store, filter through the cards. Okay. Now I look on the back of the card and I'm like, holy smokes, it's like $5 a card. Yeah. Literally. Like, have you looked at the cost of a greeting card lately? It's like $5 a card. I'm like, okay. And then we just screw it. I'm just going to send them a text if we even do that. So this company enables you to, like, from your phone or your laptop, whatever, I can go right now and within a minute send you a card. Let's say we met someplace. We were at a neighborhood party. I got your name and address, and I'm like, boom, maybe we took a selfie together. I don't know. Bang. We took a picture together. Maybe we had a mutual friend and the three of us were in a picture. Well, I go in onto my app and I just send you a quick card, put the image on the front of the card. Hey, Brian, it was super to meet you at Randy's place. I look forward to reconnecting, blah, 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 whatever. Bang, done. It's sent. Physical card in the mail. You ain't going to be expecting it. And you're like, wow, holy smokes. Like, some dude that I just met sent me a card. That's amazing. So immediately you separate yourself from the competition. Then when it comes to customers, and this is what I have, we have a roofing company that this guy was spending a ridiculous amount of money on ads, like insane advertising budget. Now he spends zero on advertising, and he does it. He gets 100% referral business. His phone rings every single day, because what he did is he took all of his roofing clients, put them into a card campaign, and it's automated. You can set up a card campaign where, okay, as soon as you get done with the roofing deal, you take a before and after, whatever you want to do, or whatever the card is. It doesn't have to be before and after. It's just like, hey, thank you so much for your business. We appreciate it. Enjoy doing work with you. Bang. Okay, I just got a thank you card from the guy that I gave 40 grand to for my roof. Wow, that's different. Nobody's ever done that before. Already leaves a trigger. Maybe 5 months later, you get another card. It doesn't have to be Christmas or anything. It's, hey, I was just thinking about you. I hope everything's going great with your roof. Maybe the little hint, by the way, I love building my business with referrals. If you know anybody that's ever looking for a new roof or roofing repair, please keep us in mind. Hope you're having a great day. And always, my phone number is wide open if you ever need help with anything with your roof. Oh my gosh. Now, wait, what? I've heard from the roofing guy twice. You don't even have to think about it. It just automatically went out 5 or 6 months later. And then maybe another one goes out. Your cost on that. Okay, let's take roofing, for example. Okay, a new roof on my house is about 40 grand. I know that the guy's going to make at least 15 grand on that roof, if not more. I don't know. I mean, you guys know all the, costs and whatever.
Well, because roofing, because I run ads for a lot of these guys and I do their marketing, but the leads for roofing and HVAC is, you're looking at $150, $250 they'll pay for a decent lead. That's not a job. That's a lead.
How much are you making on my $40,000? Just around my roof to me as the consumer.
Probably 25. Yeah, somewhere between 20, 25.
Okay, so 25 grand. Is it worth it to you, the roofing guy, to spend $10 on me over the next 2 years? I think it is.
Yeah.
And the reason people don't do it is because it's hard. It's a pain in the rear. I got to go do this. You literally can automate it. And one of the best things about this company is they have what's called a gratitude. They have a gratitude consultant, a VA person that's dedicated. That if you're like, I don't know how to get all my people in there and I don't know what to say, they'll literally put the card campaign together for you and they press a button and it's automated. And that's that like they didn't have that 20 years ago. And the biggest challenge I had with busy business people is they're busy business people and they're like, I don't know how to do this, especially people that aren't super tech savvy. You don't even have to be tech savvy. You just have to be business smart. And I mean, I can tell you right now, I've easily made 7 figures in speaking gigs just because I'm the guy that reaches out when they least expect it. I want to say this one thing, regardless of the card thing or not. If the only time that you reach out to somebody is when you want their business, you're not going to get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Like, oh, the next time you call me is when you want to re-up my contract or whatever it is, depending on what you sell or do. I'm like, nah. I mean, like all of it. Obviously, you just see me as if I got a $sign tattooed to my forehead.
And like to stop you real quick is because I do the websites, I do the marketing for these guys, and when I'm talking about marketing and helping them get leads, everybody across the board, everybody's like, well, I like my business to come from referrals. I'm like, so do I. What's your system for getting referrals? How are you following up? How long are you following up? How do you stay in touch with them over the next 5 to 7 to 10, 30 years when they move from house to house or their kids grow up or their friends move into town? It's like, and everybody goes, blind because no one has a system. Not that I've met in 40 years for following up. I mean, we used to have the old Rolodex and our office manager, we have, on the calendar and all of that, and now with Microsoft Word and some of the CRM programs that we have, it's a little bit easier, but none of them are sending out the personal card that you're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, like I had a guy, so I moved to Scottsdale and my kids were young and they weren't swimmers yet. So I had the call some pool fence dude, comes over, installs a pool fence, right? So your kids can't get in there with the tricky gate.
Yeah.
And when he was leaving, I asked him, I go, how do you build your business? And he's like, oh, referrals. I'm like, oh, cool. I'm like, well, what do you do with me after we're done with the pool fence? He's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, okay, immediately the expression. I'm like, I already knew he didn't get it. I'm like, well, your name is not even on my pool fence. And like 6 months from now, when somebody's at my house and they're like, hey, who did your pool fence? I'm like, I don't know, some pool fence dude. I have no idea. Yeah. Because your logo's not on there, your phone number's not on there. But I try, this is a guy who didn't get it. I said, look, I've got this platform I've been using at the time, it was probably about 14 years. So I got a platform that'll guarantee that you get more referrals and literally build an entirely referral-based business. And people will actually remember who you are and what your name is. And he was one of those guys that didn't get it. He never started using the platform, which, I don't care.
Yeah.
But it's just a shame that so many people just don't understand. And it's the little things that make the big difference. You guys that are like, want to do more, want to get more referrals, more deals, your people raving about you. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
You can multiply your revenue with very little extra effort if you just put the business mind on it. And, just the stuff we're talking about right now, it can make the biggest difference in your company.
Well, I like what you said too, is like, if we made it like a neighborhood, like a party that we have over here in this neighborhood that I just moved into. We've had a couple of them since we've been here, but and I asked these contractors, I say, look, man, if you're serious about growing your business, you got to join some networking groups, some BMIs, Chamber of Commerce, whatever it is. And don't go there begging for work. It just makes you look desperate. Go there and learn and meet the people, build the relationship, find out how you can help them. They will find out what you do and send work to you. But I love what you just said, because if I'm at a networking event or Chamber of Commerce and I meet Todd, man, to, like you said, whether we do a selfie together or not, but we talk about something. I know you just moved to Bend, Oregon. You got kids. I know you're into the freaking snow skiing and the fishing, the outdoor stuff. Now, before I even leave the parking lot, I can have mailed you something, a card. So within a couple of days, you're going to get it and go, shit, that damn man. I remember that, Brian. I remember that dude. And then we can, now we're building a relationship. Everything is relationships.
Yeah. And let me give your folks a quick networking tip, because unless you're taught this, most people don't do this. A lot of people go to these networking functions like, let's take BNI out of that, because that's a lead sharing group.
Yeah.
But let's say you go to a chamber event. All it is people that are like wanting to drum up business. But if you're the guy like, hey, with the guy that takes your 5 cards and tries to hand me 5 cards, like I'm going to go pass them out to people, I only need 1. Okay. Those guys don't, that's somebody who doesn't get it. But let's say I met you and you were a realtor and I got your car, we chatted, and I'm on to the next person. And then I go meet some guy who's in mortgage as an example. And I'm like, okay, well, mortgage and realtors, they do business together. And let's say the realtors guy is Randy and the mortgage guy is Ted. I'm like, hey, Ted, have you met Randy, the Coldwell Banker guy? And he's like, I'm like, hey, let me grab him real quick. And then I introduce you guys. I'm like, hey, Randy, Ted, Randy. He does mortgages. You do real estate. You guys should chat. And then I'm out of there. I also just I added value to that networking relationship without taking anything from it.
100%.
And I'm like, and so I'm always about helping people connect at these events. And I'm always remembered as the guy that, you taught and I could have met you 5 minutes ago and I still did the introduction. I don't need to know you that great. I can just, you start collecting cards, you're talking to people, you're connecting other people. And the last thing I'll say on that, when you go to any networking event, I know you want to get leads. I know you want to get business, but go there with the attitude of what can I contribute to? What value can I add? Not what can I take? And you'll get a lot more out of it.
100%. I'm trying to find that link so they can research it. What's your phone number? I should have saved your phone.
My phone number?
Well, because I'm looking it up. You sent me that link. I'll be able to post it in the chat box so they can pull it up and see exactly what we're talking about with the cards.
Yeah, I'll let's see. I'll text it to you real quick.
Or can you type it into the you should be able to type it into the comments over there on your site.
Yeah, 1 second. Where are we at? Where's the join the chat? There we go. Wait, that's connect YouTube chat, and that's what I'm trying to do. Oh, comments.
Comments down at the bottom where all and
is this is on YouTube, right?
Yeah, it's YouTube, X, Facebook.
Right. Okay, I'm having to give it access for some reason. Here, let me just say it out loud.
Okay, say it out loud and then send me a message in Facebook and I'll post it. But say it out loud.
Yeah, it's sendoutcards.com/4818. You can't buy the service unless you go through somebody.
Yeah.
So it's sendoutcards, plural, sendoutcards.com/4818. Maybe Charlie, because I could see Charlie can clearly put comments in there. Maybe sendoutcards.com/4818.
That should be it.
Yeah, 20 years of using it, man. 20 years. That's a long time to be using a business tool.
Well, yeah, because now everybody is screaming about the CRMs, and they are. I mean, if you can find the right one, we're building one for some contractors, but they still don't do what you're talking about. I'm telling you, when people get something in the mail that they hold and they open up, it emotionally, mentally, it makes an attachment. 100%.
It's a game changer. I'll tell you something really quickly that this is my favorite card to send, because you can send a postcard, a folding card, a trifold card. You can do all sorts of tricky stuff with it. My favorite card to send somebody is what's called a flat card. And it's a postcard that goes into an envelope. So it doesn't get damaged or scuffed. And you know how we don't print photos anymore?
Yeah.
Like I'll see you, let's say you're a client of mine and you're out on date night, or I don't know, you post something that you really like. We're not posting crappy photos on Facebook probably. And I know you posted this like date night shot of you and your lady. I'm like, oh, cool. So I literally will just download it off of your Facebook page, put it onto the front of the card, and maybe on the back, it just says date nights forever. Not, hey, this is Todd, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't even matter. I don't need my name on it because you're going to see it on the envelope. You get that card, and probably 80% of the people that get those cards from me, that 4x6 card ends up framed because they come out beautiful.
I love that.
And you put it up in your house.
Yeah, because I love that, because I've seen friends post stuff, whether it's them and their wife or them and their sons or something, and I'll, and I'll comment going, "Damn, Todd, that's a phenomenal. That's one that you should print and frame." Just because it really is a good picture or whatever it is, and you know it means something to them. But to do it, like you said, to download it, put it on this card, and send it to them, and like you said, whatever you put on the back, memories are forever. Just hope you enjoy it. Whatever it is that you end up saying. Just makes it that much more special. You end up building that relationship, that much stronger.
100%. 100%.
I don't know if you can see it. I did www.sendoutcards.com/4818. Is that right?
That is correct.
All right, perfect. So, man, for me, everything is personal development. I beg people. Couple of things about network marketing. I'd beg people to join a network marketing company, find a product that they love, that they use, and just join that group, whether you sell it or not. But go to the meetings. You'll get some of the best business training, some of the best personal training, some of the best personal development training for pennies on the dollars. I mean, most of these events we don't even charge. They just want you to show up. You're a member of the business. They want you to sell it, all of that. But then you're in an environment and surrounded by people who want more out of life. So I say, look, man, find a product that you like, join that group, and go to the meetings for a lot of different reasons. Jim Rohn would say, I wish everyone could earn $1 million, not to become a millionaire, but because of the person you have to become to earn $1 million. And it's just, you have to go through the steps. You have to be around those people. So I love the personal development aspect. I do tell guys still, when they're talking about business, I'll say, look, the least inexpensive network marketing is the cheapest business you'll ever be able to buy into. If you buy into a franchise in construction or anything, you're looking at $175,000 plus a lot of, you got to have another 175 in backing and all this other stuff. You got to be willing to buy another 3 to 5 locations in the next 5 to 7 years, a whole bunch of stuff. So getting into a network, the cheapest way to get into your own business is to find a great network marketing company that you want to get into. The problem with that is it is cheap. You give someone $2,000, a couple of your friends tell you how retarded you are for joining some company that took your money. You don't ever talk about it again, and everybody ripped you off. But if you put $175 into a franchise, you don't quit that easy. You go gusto. And that's what the problem with construction. These guys buy a couple of tools. They think they're in business. They never learn the business aspect of it. But if you got into network marketing, someone else is housing the product. They're shipping the product. They're doing the research. All you got to do is become a salesman, and they'll give you the training for that. But it comes back to personal development. Jim would say, Les would say, everyone says, the better you become, the better everything in your life becomes. Were you always into personal development, or did it come when you learned Spanish?
No, I wasn't at all into personal development. I was like, I went to school and I wanted to make money, just like everybody probably wants to do when they get into their career, because I grew up broke. And, literally the first time I looked at network marketing, they were talking about a book called Think and Grow Rich. And they're like, you guys, you need to read this book. And I'm like, I don't want to read a book. I just want to make some money. And I didn't understand the concept of personal and professional development. So I begrudgingly read that first book. And honestly, I've learned more after college about making money as an entrepreneur than I ever did in college. Honestly, looking back at school, it was like party, fun, beer, weed, girls. And social development. You're learning how to, engage with other people. I mean, I learned a little bit, but I got a marketing degree, and I didn't learn that much about marketing. It's like, here's the definition of this thing. Here's the definition of that. So, if you want to get good at something, like whatever that is, look at somebody who's truly exceptional at it. How did they get good?
Yeah.
And how, like, I've heard it said, and I don't agree with this, like, how you do one thing is how you do everything.
Yeah.
Meaning, like, if you're really, exceptional in business, you probably have exceptional marriage or exceptional fitness. That's bullshit.
Yeah. It's usually the opposite.
I see incredibly fit people that have no relationship, or super fat, unhealthy people that are billionaires.
Yeah.
But how you get good at one thing is how you get good at everything. So, like, for example, these guitars up here, if I wanted to get good on guitar, I can't just hang up on the wall. I got to put my hands on the guitar. I probably should take some guitar lessons. I should probably be practicing it on a regular basis. I should be studying other guitarists. And, there's a process that we all go through to become exceptional. And I think no matter what your craft is, like, my oldest kid is learning to be a finish carpenter, and he's really anal retentive. So, like, he's OCD. So perfect kind of guy for finish carpentry, because it has to be perfect. Like, the door trim that he does and the baseboard, man, you've never seen a tighter baseboard. Like, and any of you guys that do that, the floors are uneven. He's scribing it. Like, his scribes are insane. Like, the general comes in there and is like, oh my gosh, this kid is like ridiculous, right? Attention to detail is another thing. So, but I think anything you can do to become exceptional.
Yeah. Man, as a kid, cutting in some crown molding or baseboards, I forgot what it was, but it was oak. And I just cut two pieces and put it together. And man, the dude came over there. And when I got into construction, it was 82. I was just barely 18. And the dudes that were teaching me were 72 and 69. They were World War II vets. And I tell the guys that I train now, I say, man, if I talk to you the way they talk to me, I'd go to jail. But, but they were like men's men. And they talk to you like that because they loved you and wanted you to do better. But he took the time to explain to him. He goes, look, this is grain. This is oak. Here's the grain that's in the wood. And look, do these two pieces of wood look the same? No, they don't. Let me answer that for you, Brian. No, look, come over here. Look at this. You see these? Now, when we put this together, this is going to look like it was one piece of wood. Or we can take this one piece of wood, cut it in half, put it back together where it's supposed to be. And it really is women. But just like you just said, the fine attention to detail. And didn't want to stop you, but go ahead, because I love that your son's doing that.
No, he's great at it. And it's funny because I think of my father is definitely not a finished carpenter at all. And I'm like looking at this crown molding, and my dad finished, this is like 4 houses ago, and he did this crown molding. And I'm like, I mean, there was like a ½ an inch gap and then a 1/4 inch. I mean, it looked like hell. And he was like, I'll just caulk it. I'm like, dude, you ain't caulking that. It's too big of a hole. It's one thing to fill, I mean, it's just, but again, this goes like my kids being taught by somebody who's a tremendously accurate finished carpenter. And like, this is the way the work is done, tight.
Yeah.
And so he's like, okay, well, I'm going to listen. My dad knows the difference, but he just doesn't care. And I think that's another thing is like, you need to care.
Yeah.
And you need to show through your work and what happens after the work that you care. And if you want to get ahead, I don't know. I mean, you guys probably have painters and trimmers and who knows what, everybody, right?
Yeah.
It's not, I trust me when I say this, it will not be hard at all for you to dramatically stick out from the competition.
Yeah.
It's not hard at all. Like you'll be like raved about. Like that. Like I got a painter, this guy, Dylan. I got a phone call from my neighbor the other day because he's using Dylan. He's like, I forgot to say thank you for Dylan. This guy is as good in that and then some with painting. This guy is a wizard. And, and everybody raves about Dylan because the guy gets it done tight. I mean, no mistakes, no, what is it called in painting? A holiday, no holidays.
Yeah, no holidays.
When you miss a big spot.
Hey, do you know why they call it a holiday, Todd?
I don't know. Because they took a vacation on the spot. Like, what's the phrase?
If you miss it, you got to use your time to go back and fix it. So on your holiday, you got to go back and fix it. But so you get out of college, they tell you to read this book. You're thinking about women and just enjoying life, making money. Where did the personal development? How did that click? Because for me, it was I mean, everything I have and everything I am, I owe to martial arts because of the years and the training. Slowly, my mentality changed, but something has to change it.
Yeah. Well, school teaches you how to go work for somebody, how to, I mean, that's very few schools teach entrepreneurship. So it's all designed to show you how to go out into the workforce and find a job. But they don't even go like teaching you. It's like, okay, if you really want to excel in what you do and be the person that gets the raise and gets the advancements, there's no even education on that.
Yeah.
All that happened to me after school, like thinking differently, thinking bigger, going the extra mile, under promising and over delivering. There was no training at all in school. Under promise and over deliver, go the extra mile, make your customers feel special. Think about customer experience versus customer service. Customer experience is what they experience as a result of doing business with you. Customer service, what's that? That's problem focused. When do you call customer service? When you got a problem. You don't call customer service, say, hey, you guys are so amazing, thank you so much, I don't have any problems. Something's wrong. That's when customer service you have to deal with. But you won't have to deal with a lot of customer service problems if you create an exceptional customer experience where they're like, oh my gosh, like, wow. I mean, even Dylan, like the guy came back to me. He's done multiple painting jobs at this house, but he came back the first job and he did this Seahawks thing in my kid's room. Yeah. My kid's room was like purple. And like he like I got a little boy, he didn't want a purple room. So we snuck it in there, made this whole Seahawks thing that he was doing. And we walked in, I was like, wow, that is a perfect Seahawk from like a Seattle Seahawks helmet. His whole wall, it was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, really exceptional. It was perfect. And, of course my kid comes in all just like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
And, he called me after we moved in. He goes, hey, just want to check in. What do you think of the work I did? And I was like, dude, my kid is like so happy. I mean, I'm happy. The whole house looks amazing, but what an incredible surprise for him. And he's always, I mean, I even talked to him like, I don't know, 3-4 weeks ago, he called me just to check in and, see how the family's doing. So little things, guys, little things that make the biggest difference.
In network marketing, I mean, you got to go through a lot of pain to get to where you make even a little bit of money. You got to get through a lot of no's. I forgot who it was. Is it Winston Churchill who says, success is going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm or something like that. And everybody says, yeah, it's the downtimes that build the character and the goal setting and that stuff. And I agree with all of it. And I don't know, it's like I'd say, about a Jim Rohn stuff is one, if you want to make it in business, you got to be able to make it in life, but you have to become a better person. Is it because you can't make somebody want to be a better person? If you're talking to a young man, 25, who says he wants to do better, but you see the actions doesn't mimic what he's saying, anything you say to him?
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of lazy and slow, and I wanted to get ahead, but I didn't really know how to get ahead. And so I had some good mentors growing up, and I mean, my stepdad, for example, was a really good mentor of mine when I sold advertising for his radio station. He goes, look, if you're going to, first of all, people are going to frown at you because you're the owner's kid. Yeah. I go, you need to separate yourself from everybody. Like, you need to be here earlier and stay later. And what's crazy is I was in the office at 7 a.m. and I probably leave at 7 p.m. when every other account executive showed up at 9 and left at 5. And within, 14 months, I was the number 2 earning account executive in that market. And our radio station had mediocre ratings. I was beating the number 1 and number 2 radio stations in terms of the earnings that these other account executives were making. They were selling commercials for like $80 a commercial. I was selling them for $15 to $25 a commercial. And why did I make more? Because I outworked them. I showed up earlier. I stayed later. I was a relationship builder. I understand the value of building relationship capital. And, you can take, I'm talking about radio sales, we're radio sales, network marketing, roofing, plumbing, whatever, like whatever you're doing, you need to have a business hat on. You're not there to just do, you might be, even if you're a solopreneur, like you're like a guy that I do some business with who's a plumber. He chooses to work for himself, and that's fine. And he's plenty busy, but he's also a business guy. Like, he's very, very good. He's always responsive. He knows that if I got a problem, I had a problem, I had a leak in my main line coming into the house, and he was at my house 15 minutes later digging a trench.
Yeah.
So showing that you care, what you do after the sale is super significant. You cannot forget that the person that you just did business with, they could lead you to 20, 50 other people. And if you don't pay attention, like the realtor, the example of the realtor, if I'm not going to throw her under the bus by name, I never have. I talk about her quite a bit, not by name. But if somebody calls me and says, do you know a good realtor in Bend? I would like, well, I'll tell you the one that you need to avoid. In that instance, I would tell you. But she could have made, I've had at least 5 friends move into town that have all bought like $1 million+ houses. She could have made another, from me, probably 400,000 or 500,000 in commissions, but she won't make a dime because she didn't know she didn't care enough to follow through after the transaction.
Yeah. Hey, do you, because I looked at your website a little bit recently, because I know you have a lot of training that you sell for network marketing and stuff. Do you have any personal development training?
My stuff is pretty focused on how to make money in network marketing. It's pretty lasered in. And in fact, in about 3 weeks, my website's will look completely different than it does currently. I'm doing a full rebrand right now.
One, because you've lost weight and you look great right now, and the picture on your website is the old Todd.
Yeah. And just remember, like, if you go to my site in like a month, you'll be like, holy smokes, this site looks, I've seen what it looks like already. It's going to be awesome. Yeah. I don't have physical products for that, but I do some one-on-one coaching for people in traditional business. If somebody wants to reach out to me on that, I'm happy to have a conversation. I keep my coaching roster pretty small, but if the right person comes along and they really want help, I'd be willing to consider it.
Perfect. Man, it's already been 56 minutes. Try to wrap it up in an hour, but I'll leave this to you. But man, with everything that's been going on politically for the last 8 years, I don't know. You want to touch on that? Where we're headed, what you think the future is going to be, how we can be a better nation, better community. And I say, well, I'll say I was extremely frustrated when I thought Trump got stolen the second election, whether he did or didn't, whatever. But now I used to think, what the hell? But now I look back and I think, well, shit, maybe that was God's plan, because he had 4 years to really learn the ins and outs of Washington and how corrupt it really is, so that when he came back, he didn't have to waste any time learning. So I think it was a huge blessing that he ended up not winning or getting it stolen from him the second time. Now I'm pretty happy with what's going on, and you're never going to be 100% happy. But it's just, I don't know. I think there's a tipping point to where we've been taking it on the chin as capitalists, entrepreneurs, business owners wanting to pay. I'm a libertarian. The smaller the business for me, the better. I don't want any of them getting my money. I'd like to spend my own money on things that I want. I don't know. How do you feel, brother?
Well, I'm a conservative. This last week with Charlie rocked me. First time, you got live streaming, somebody getting killed, in front of thousands of people on live stream. It was incredibly graphic. It's horrifying. It pissed me off. It made me sad. And then I see people laughing and cheering, and that really pissed me off. And actually yesterday, I've got a spiritual advisor guy that I work with, and I was really having a hard time focusing, and I'm just being sucked into just this stuff, and I'm getting madder and madder. And it's like, it's not helping me at all. Like I had very little production for a couple of days. And my wife called me and she goes, that's the devil at work. The devil wants you distracted. The devil wants you to be angry. All he does is come to kill and destroy. And then I sat down with my friend for a while, and he calmed me down. And because I have a lot of influence with, the different, where I am. I got hundreds of thousands of people that follow me. And I just made a decision yesterday. I said, you know what? I'm going to just lead with love. I'm going to turn myself to God. I'm not I'm not a pastor. I'm not a deeply religious person. I'm a Christian. I believe in God. Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior, but I'm not out there preaching. I'm not even qualified to preach. I'm a sinner and I got, whatever. I'm just a dude trying to do good in life, but I am not going to get into it. Like I'm a fighter. I'm feisty too, man. I'll get in the ring with you, but I'm not going to do it. I'm just done.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to lead with love and kindness and honestly pray for these people that are running around calling people fascist Nazis. And I blame a lot of it on the Democrat Party. Not everybody in the Democrat Party, but the media and the Democrat Party. And I'm not like, I got friends that are Democrats, but when you're feeding young, impressionable people with fascist Nazi, like I'm a white, straight, married Christian, God-loving male. And according to them, they'll point their fingers at me and call me a fascist Nazi. That bothers me. Yeah. And when people hear this thing over and over and over again, then they're like, oh, they must be. And then people go crazy. Yeah. And it's just like insane. I don't want to, I'll leave it right there. I'm leading with love. I have a lot of strong feelings politically, but I'll just leave it there. Yeah. I think we should lead with love and kindness. If you pray for these people that need help because they're clearly being led by the devil and they are lost and they need help.
100%. The media and the school system from kindergarten through your master's degree has been brainwashing these people for so long. But thanks to X and the internet and Rumble, YouTube has lightened up a little bit, but that's only because Trump got elected. But slowly we can get the word out and start re-educating people, or at least giving them a second opinion. I'm pretty happy with what I see going on in Europe. I've got a couple of contractors that live in Europe, and I hear nightmare stories from them to see what went on this weekend with Tommy Robinson and Charlie Kirk. And it seemed like there was almost 1 million people marching in the street. Elon went live. And so it seems like the pendulum is slowly changing, but I like what you said. We still got to lead with love, but at the same time, got to keep your hands up, man, because these dudes fight way more evil than we do.
Keep your head on a swivel, man.
Yeah. Hey, brother, man, I appreciate you taking the time to come out and speak with us. I want to follow up with you. I know my daughter wants to use the cards because we have the CRM and it's everything that we talk about and we teach in our systems on building a long-lasting business for generations. Like I've sold a couple of companies. I was going to sell this when my daughter's like, no, I want it. I'm going to buy blah, blah. And her and her partner have really been stepping up. And this is just one more thing that I think they really need is to follow up with the hands-on, open it in the mail card. And then the personal development, lead with love, building the relationships, man, going to these networking events and learning to connect people, be the connector. Don't be there showing up begging for work. Just all of it, man, that you shared has been valuable for these guys. I want them to hear it from other industries. If they just answer the freaking phone and call back, they'd be 80% ahead of most of the guys in construction. It ain't hard. That's for damn sure. Any last words you want to part with?
I don't know. Just go out there and reverse it. How would you want to be treated?
Yeah.
Just think about that. It's like, okay, flip the cards. Are you treating your business and your experiences that you have with prospective people or current customers the way you would truly want to be treated? And that goes down to, it is a biblical principle, the golden rule, do unto others as you'd have done unto you. And I think it's a good philosophy and a great final thought to end with your audience. I appreciate the opportunity, Sharon. It's I do a lot of training for entrepreneurs, network marketers, direct sellers, but everything I do is super applicable to anything out there. So thanks for having me, man.
All right. Appreciate you, Ryan.